There are many animes that are underrated that I feel like that deserve a video game adaptation. So in this video, I'll be diving deep into what makes these animes so special and why these animes deserve a video game adaptation. So without further ado, let's get started.
Strapped like an edge of a samurai sword, the mental blade cut through flesh and bone. Don't my mind at peace, the word I
Samurai Champloo, to me and to many others, is just one of those shows where on a snap of the finger, you're automatically attracted to it. And that's something I love about the show. I really love it when it goes down to just the overall like feeling and raw emotions of it. That's something that like really pulls into me. Something that can make the show like really emotional is the fact that it dives into select few concepts and like emotions, loyalty, redemption, and a search of purpose, often delving into inner conflicts and struggles of its protagonists. Additionally, the series incorporates elements of humor and action, providing moments of levity and excitement amidst its more poignant moment. And stuff like that kind of makes me love the show. Also, for the fact that, man, when I say the music and just the overall OST of the show is amazing. RIP to Jambes, but man, that soundtrack is probably Chef's Kiss, one of the most underrated yet the best soundtrack I've heard in a while. It gives you that feeling of Adult Swim, you know what I'm talking about, when like it kind of snapped into like those cut scenes. And then, like, it just hits you with those chill lo-fi beats. Just that alone makes it a really good show. And just, I would love to see if it had a video game adaptation of that now. I know it had a game back on the PS2, and I'm pretty sure that was good. But I feel like with the state of gaming now, I would love to see just a newer version of Samurai Champloo as a game. Redline. Where do I even begin with Redline? Something I could say about this show is that it's strange, yet it's really good strange, if that makes sense. And if this were to be a game, I visualize it as Mario Kart plus Rocket League put all together. And I think that type of game would go absolutely crazy. And it would be so fun because I can visualize, like I said, Rocket League plus Mario Kart is like a demolition derby type game. You know what I mean? You can like customize your own car in the way you want it. And that's something I would really like to see, and I think that can happen. The first thing I want to address and I want to point out is the story. But before we get into that, let's dive into the characters and see how they are portrayed in these stories. Joe is a talented underground fighter who competes without the aid of special gear, relying on his raw talent and skill and determination. He enters the Megalonia tournament to prove himself and seek redemption. Nambu, Joe's coach, is a street-smart hustler who sees Joe as his ticket to financial success. Despite his initial selfish motive, Nambu forms a genuine bond with Joe and becomes a crucial figure in his journey. Yuri, the reigning champion of Megalonia, is a skilled fighter with a mysterious past. He serves Joe's primary rival in the ring, representing the elite establishment that Joe seeks to challenge. Sachio is a young orphan who forms a close friendship with Joe. Sachio becomes his loyal supporter and part of his makeshift family. He brings useful energy and perspective to the group. And finally, Yukiko Shirato, a powerful figure in the corporate world. Yukiko Shirato is the sponsor of the Megalonia tournament. Intelligent and ambitious, she navigates the complex political landscape of the sport while harboring her own personal motives. In Megalobox 2, Joe goes by the identity of Nomad, as he's now a drifter fighting in different underground fighting scenes for cash. You can see now he's like a lot more different. Is this like he's hiding something, or like he's hiding like very, very, very deep emotions? In a sense, like because now like he's taking pills. He's like more scruffed. He looks homeless. He kind of looks a lot more different. He has like a lot more aggression to him. Chief is like my favorite character. Besides Joe, Chief is probably like my favorite character in the sense that he if you don't know, Chief is the leader of a migrant community of Afro Hispanics. And so in the sense that Chief is the leader, and even in like the face of like, we're going to take this, he still keeps like a positive attitude, and he keeps everyone positive. And he also gives Joe advice like, hey, you may say you lose everything, but you have not. You still have something like left with you. And that's something that like kind of pulls me. And that's something I really love about Chief. In the sense that like he's like a father figure in a way, if that makes sense. Mac is another new character in Megalobox 2 Nomad. And in a way, he's kind of like a pawn, like a guinea pig in a way. And like you kind of feel bad, not necessarily for him. Well, you feel bad for him in a little bit, but more so for his wife. Because the fact that his wife made like the crucial decision to implant like a chip in his mind just so he can walk again. But in that sense, in like a tinging sound, like if like something hits like a cup or something, and he goes into like a controlled freak shock in a way. Something like that can also pull your heartstrings. Because while you think like, yeah, Mac, we root for you, man, you have to think about like the mental side of that. The sense like he can't really like spend time with his family in certain ways because, like I said, he's like a guinea pig. He's like a pawn. He's used as the like toy of the people who are up there, and the people who are up there even sponsor him. So that's like another added layer of like kind of depth and kind of like emotional tactics. Ippo is initially introverted and lacking in confidence. After being saved from bullies by a professional boxer, he decides to pursue boxing himself. Throughout the series, Ippo undergoes rigorous training and faces formidable opponents and gradually transforms into a skilled and determined boxer. Mamoru Takamura, a veteran boxer and Ippo's mentor, Takamura serves as a tough but supportive coach. He helps Ippo navigate the world of boxing, pushing him to his limits while also imparting wisdom and guidance. Miyata Ichiru, a talented and disciplined boxer, Miyata becomes one of Ippo's earliest rivals and later a close friend. He specializes in counter-punching style and shares a mutual respect and a rivalry with Ippo as they both strive to become champions in their respective weight classes. Tatsuya Kimura, Masaru Aoki, and Takashi Sendo. These three characters are Ippo's friends and fellow boxers at the Kamogawa gym. Each of them have their own unique personalities and fighting styles, contributing to the camaraderie and competitiveness within the gym. Kamogawa Genji, the grizzled and experienced trainer at the Kamogawa gym. Kamogawa plays a pivotal role in Ippo's development as a boxer. He instills discipline, perseverance, and the importance of strength in Ippo's training, guiding him towards his goal of becoming a champion. Megalobox and the sequel Megalobox 2 Nomad are Japanese anime series set in a dystopian future where boxing has evolved into megaloboxing, a sport where fighters wear exoskeletons called gear to enhance their strength and speed. The first series follows a character known as Junk Dog, an underground fighter who enters the world of megaloboxing under the new name Joe. He aims to compete in the prestigious Megalonian tournament. Despite being an underdog and choosing to fight without gear, he rises through the ranks, showcasing his raw talent and determination. The series is known for its gritty animation style, reminiscent of older anime, and its compelling underdog story. The sequel, Nomad, takes place several years after the events of the first series. Joe, now a drifter and known as Nomad, is dealing with the fallout from his past decisions and personal losses. The tone is darker, exploring themes of redemption, identity, and the consequences of fame and success. Joe's journey in Nomad is more introspective, as he reconnects with old friends and confronts new challenges. Hajime no Ippo follows the story of Ippo Makunochi, who is a high school student who transformed from a timid and frequently bullied teenager into a professional boxer. Both Megalobox and Hajime no Ippo celebrate the spirits of boxing while delving into deeper personal and societal issues, making them compelling narratives about human resilience and the quest for self-improvement. Cowboy Bebop is similar to what I said about Samurai Champloo, in the sense like the emotional feeling of the characters that you get when seeing the show, and also the fact that the music in Cowboy Bebop is also really good. If you were to put like a tier list of like some of the most underrated shows, or like shows from like the early 2000s, just going off music, I don't even know. I think Cowboy Bebop would probably be number one. Samurai Champloo like might be one or two, but it will be hard to tell. But Cowboy Bebop is just one of those shows. Like, it's like really interesting, and I would visualize it as like kind of like a LA noir type game, in the sense like it gives all like those old school like detective vibes, like in those big trench coats, like you have the damsel in distress going, oh, detective, yada yada yada, like, you know what I mean, like those type of stories. That's something that's like interesting, even though it's not like my personal type of game. I feel like I would still play that, because like Cowboy Bebop delivers a message about the transistent nature of life, the consequences of one's actions, and the search for meaning and redemption. Each character in the series grapples with their past, regrets, and desire for a better future, reflecting on themes of loneliness, existentialism, and the human conditions. The show emphasizes the importance of connections with others despite the challenges and tragedies encouraged along the way. Ultimately, Cowboy Bebop encourages viewers to confront their own past, embrace the present moment, and strive for a brighter tomorrow, even in the seemingly indifferent future. Black Lagoon. Man, this one is, if this was a game, I would be so excited for it, because I know this game would be so rated R. I mean, where do I even begin? The character designs of them, those would be probably fire. I visualize Black Lagoon as a kind of a Saints Row type of game. I know if you play like Saints Row, it's like kind of wacky. It's kind of like, it's still the shooters up games, but it's like in a wacky way. That's something similar to Black Lagoon. It's still like, oh, those shooter games, like pow, 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 doing your job and all that. But it's still wacky in a way. It's still, serious with the themes, like you're doing your job, taking out people, boom, 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 shooting them up, going crazy, got all your different guns and all that. But in ways, it could still be like, wacky. And I think most people would play it, but I know for the fact if Black Lagoon were to have that Saints Row type of game, it would be so rated R that I don't even know if it would even make the shelves. But hey, there's probably even more anime that I haven't mentioned in this video that would make a really good game. So let me know in the comments below, what are some animes that you guys think will make a really good game out of it. And if you enjoy game rants like these, you should go check out this game rant that is also on the screen.